Good morning, photography students. This is Mr. McCarthy. And in this tutorial, it's kind of more of an outline of an activity. We're going to take steps for designing, and you see right up here in the top right-hand corner, 3 design looks from some of the yearbook spreads that I asked you to look for yesterday. So you should have on your desktop right here an SBA Design Award selections, and you should have a whole selection of screenshots that you took and renamed. This one's not renamed, based on the year and the design student who produced the design here. Okay, so forgive me for not having it there. All right, so what we're going to do in class today is I'm going to ask you to create a folder called 3 Design Looks. Okay, and I'm going to open that up. And in this folder, I'm going to transfer that design look over. I have also copied an image, for my purposes, just a single image that I'm going to put into this design. Okay? And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to use that design to emulate. So we're going to use this as a model, and we're going to fill it in with our own images. So let's get started. We're going to start with InDesign. And then we're going to create a new folder. All right, and here we are. And this is what I would like you to make sure that you have. 51 picas by 66 picas. Your orientation is portrait. And then you're going to create 3 pages here. Okay, so if you would make sure that those 3 things, I guess it's 4 things are set, facing pages should be checked. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and create that. And then here's my page. That's the first page. And then this is the page that we're going to do the design on, because pages 2 and 3 open up to one another. Okay, we can design straight across them and really kind of look at that as one spread page. Okay, before I get started, I'm going to go ahead and save this to my 3 Design Looks folder. There it is. And I'm going to call this 1 Design Look. Okay, that's going to be my first design look there. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and save. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually bring in the yearbook spread that I had screenshot yesterday. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on. Command D is place. I'm going to go to 3 Design Looks. Here's that screenshot. I'm going to go ahead and click and open it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start right up here in the corner, and I'm going to pull down, and I get almost a near perfect fit. All right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, I see I'm weighted a little bit over to the left here, so I'm just going to try and balance that, and that looks pretty good. This dominant image, we call the largest image on a spread a dominant image, bleeds off the page. And what we mean by bleeding is the image goes right to the very edge. Okay, they call that a bleed. And I'm just going to open up just a little bit more. All right, there we go. All right, so if we were to print it, that's what we would do. All right, so here's what we're going to do now. We're going to go to Layers. As you can see, that this is on Layer 1. What we're going to do is we're going to start a new layer. Layer 1 is the spread, but we're going to work on the layer above. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to copy the template. So I'm going to start with the design image. And I am going to go to the rectangle frame tool here. I'm going to select that, and I am just going to recreate that box. Okay, and then I'm going to go to another image here. I'm going to recreate that one. Then I'm going to recreate the next, and I'm just going to move through as best I can, recreate all of the image boxes, the boxes that you will eventually place an image in. And we're just going to start with that. Okay, so if I come back up here to layers, I can turn the first layer off, and I can see the boxes that we've selected. Now, it may look a little bit messy to you, and that's because good design is complex. And since we've only laid out some of the design, which would be the photo elements, that is where we're going to start. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and select this box, and I'm going to do a Command D. Because this box is selected, when I select my image, this image isn't the same shape, so we're going to have to work it afterwards. Click Open. Notice that it fills, and it actually fills in a nice way. Because this black area I was going to trim off to begin with, and this image. Okay, so notice what I did. You see me moving the image. This is an instance where we want to keep the frame where it is, but we want to move the image around. So if I select that 0 or the circle, 2 circles, looks like a target, have that selected, then I can move my image around. Okay, and that is going to frame my first image. All right, so if I were to go back to layers, turn the layer on below, you can see that I've basically replaced the image there. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start filling in the gaps or the empty spaces with photos that relate to my overall theme. Okay. And what I'd like you to do for today is I'd like to see 3 looks. We don't have to worry about text today, although I would like you to play a little bit with your overall display font, they call it, which would be the title for your spread. So think about that and see if you can emulate the style, and maybe even the font, or a font that appears to be similar in the manner of the original spread. Okay? When I'm finished, I'm going to go ahead and turn off layer 1. And let's say that I've filled in these images, and I've gone ahead and I've put a new title or headline package up here. I'm going to go ahead and save back to design look. Okay. I'll go ahead and replace. Okay, so that is saved. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on another design look. Remember, before I do that, I want to make sure that all the image boxes that I've copied from the original spread are filled with my own images, and then a title. Okay, and then once you have that, go ahead and save, and then move on to your second look. All right, today's class is a lab environment where we are emulating models that we find attractive with our own images to see if borrowing those template designs can work for us. All right, this is Mr. McCarthy signing off.